Welcome to a new episode of the podcast. Vox Agent is made by AI for business executives that work with AI. Today, we're embarking on a deep dive into something that's, well, rapidly reshaping the tech landscape and, crucially, your business strategy. OpenAI's GPT-5. Our mission, really, is to cut through all the industry hype and deliver some concrete, actionable insights for you. We've distilled a pretty comprehensive report to help you understand its true capabilities, its standing in the, competitive market, the tangible benefits it offers your organization, its current limitations, and most importantly, what you as an executive should be considering for strategic adoption.
Yeah, it's not just about the theory behind it. It's really about the practical transformation. We're here to explore how this technology directly impacts your software development efforts and, well, by extension, your entire organization's capacity to innovate and deliver at speed.
Okay, so let's unpack this a bit. We're talking about GPT-5, OpenAI's fifth generation model. Now, for many, it might sound like just another incremental upgrade, right? But for those of us, deeply immersed in coding and software development, this isn't just an improvement. It feels like a fundamental shift. It's changing how code is built, basically from the ground up.
That's exactly right. And to really grasp GPT-5's significance, maybe think about its evolution, earlier models like GPT-3 often struggled with complex logic, maintaining consistency in coding tasks. It wasn't always reliable. Then, back in 2023, GPT-4 emerged. That was a real breakthrough, offering a 32,000 token context window and significantly higher success rates on coding problems. And we saw the rise of AI coding assistants like GitHub Copilot, built on those earlier models, starting to automate real-time code suggestions.
And GPT-5 now feels different. It seems strategically designed to unify these capabilities, natural language understanding, code generation, complex reasoning, into what OpenAI is calling an all-in-one expert. So you don't have to pick a specialized model. GPT-5 kind of handles it intelligently.
Exactly. It removes a significant cognitive burden for users,
Yeah.
makes the interaction feel much more seamless. And what's truly innovative here is how GPT-5 actually achieves this. Imagine it less as one single monolithic brain
Yeah.
and more like an intelligent system that knows when to think hard and when to just answer fast. It acts like a smart internal router.
Okay.
So you give it a quick query, it directs that to a fast model for an almost instant response.
Yeah.
But if you present a complex coding challenge, something requiring deep reasoning or understanding a large code base, it automatically routes that to a more powerful thinking model. This unique design means you get both, lightning speed for routine stuff and deep accuracy for the really intricate problems.
So it's not just bigger, it's smarter about how it processes information, optimizing for both speed and depth.
Precisely. And speaking of scale, its context window is, well, it's genuinely unprecedented.
Yeah.
Up to 400,000 tokens. To put that in perspective for you, that's roughly 300,000 plus input tokens, enough to analyze entire code bases, and maybe 128,000 output tokens.
Wow. Compared to GPT-4's 32K, that's huge.
It's a massive jump. For you, the executive, this means GPT-5 can review enormous pull requests, refactor multi-file modules, or even analyze entire applications without losing track. Like an early user said, context awareness is the big difference. GPT-5 is a vast improvement. It doesn't lose track.
That level of sustained context, it must be revolutionary for tackling those really complex projects.
It really is. And furthermore, GPT-5 has been specifically fine-tuned for coding and tool use. It adopts this sort of engineering-focused problem-solving style that prioritizes precision, correctness. It's designed to integrate deeply into developer workflows. Its improved tool integration means it can call external APIs like documentation lookups, compilers, linters, just using plain English commands.
Just plain English.
Yeah. And what's more, it even explains its reasoning before and between these tool calls.
Yeah.
And makes it feel more like an autonomous junior developer, executing commands and reporting back.
And I read somewhere you can even dictate how much thought it puts into its responses. That sounds like remarkable control.
Exactly. There are new parameters like reasoning effort and verbosity that give you direct control over its thinking depth and how detailed the output is. You can dial up the effort for a complex bug fix or dial it down for a quick code snippet tailoring its performance. And when we look at the performance highlights, these translate directly into real-world business impact. GPT-5 achieved 74.9% accuracy on SWE Bench. That's a benchmark for solving real open-source issues. That's nearly 50% better than GPT-4's, which was around 52%.
It's a substantial jump.
Huge. It also scored 88% on the ADER code editing benchmark. That's key for how well AI can help modify existing code. Internally, OpenAI found it outperformed previous models in 70% of their tests for front-end web development, and it can reliably chain dozens of tool calls together, proving it can handle complex multi-step operations.
Okay, so we talked about its impressive capabilities. Now, the crucial question for any executive listening is, how quickly is this moving from the lab into, practical real-world applications?
It's moving incredibly fast. GPT-5 is already available via OpenAI APIs, and it's rolling out within ChatGPT as well. Key developer tools are rapidly adopting it. GitHub Copilot, which, millions of developers already use, is expected to upgrade its backend to GPT-5. That brings these advanced capabilities to a massive user base.
Right, so it's not just a niche thing.
Not at all. Cursor, another popular AI-enabled IDE called GPT-5, the smartest model they've used. Remarkably intelligent, easy to steer. And Windsurf, another AI coding assistant, reported GPT-5 had half the tool calling error rate of other top models. That significantly improves reliability for complex tasks.
And it's not just the developer tool companies, right? We're seeing interest from major enterprises across industries.
Absolutely. Companies like BNY Mellon, Lowe's, Figma, T-Mobile, Morgan Stanley,
Yeah.
they're proactively arming their workforces with AI, really anticipating GPT-5's capability. This strong enterprise interest points to high maturity for specific use cases already. Code generation for well-defined tasks, automated code review. These are areas where GPT-5 is already delivering value. Quoto Merge, for instance, integrates GPT-5 for AI-assisted code review. They've reported top-ranked performance on their pull request benchmark, with suggestions noted for their quality and relevance.
But of course, GPT-5 isn't operating in a vacuum, is it? This market is fiercely competitive. What are the key players and the strategic battlegrounds executives need to be aware of?
Yeah, the competitive landscape is intense. You've got Anthropic with its Claude series, particularly Claude 4. They're a strong rival, focusing on safety and large context windows, and their models score well on coding tests. Then there's Google with Gemini AI and Cody models. They're aiming for deep integration across their whole ecosystem, Gmail, Android Studio, the works.
And Microsoft and GitHub are a big force here, too.
Definitely. That's a formidable partnership. They're leveraging GPT-5 for platform lock-in across Visual Studio, GitHub, Azure DevOps, all through their Copilot brand. They want to make their platforms the most AI-enhanced.
And Amazon. Can't forget them.
No, Amazon's AWS Code Whisperer focuses on deep integration within the AWS ecosystem. It's often offered at no extra cost to customers. And they put a strong emphasis on data privacy. And, let's not forget the vibrant open source community. Models like Llama derivatives, StarCoder, CodeLlama, plus innovative smaller entrants like Grok 4. These offer cost advantages, more control, especially for niche applications.
So for me, the executive listening, what are the sort of overarching competitive trends I should be watching? And how do they impact my strategic decisions?
Right. The real insight here isn't just who the players are, but the strategic battlegrounds they're fighting on. First, pricing wars are definitely heating up. OpenAI drastically cut GPT-5 prices. It's about 1.25 per million input tokens now. That makes it almost 10 times more cost-effective than older models for coding. That's a huge potential benefit for your budget.
10 times cheaper. Wow.
Yeah, it drives down the cost of AI compute significantly. Second, you're seeing this fundamental tension between model specialization versus generalization. OpenAI is going for the unified all-in-one approach with GPT-5. Others might offer very specific models for specific tasks. So your strategic choice isn't just which model, but maybe which ecosystem best aligns with your long-term innovation strategy and, importantly, your data governance needs.
That makes sense.
And finally, there's the ongoing push for larger context windows and deeper integration into IDEs. The goal across the board is to handle entire code bases reliably and, seamlessly within your existing development environment.
Okay. So with all this capability, the question for you, the executive, really boils down to, what does this actually do for my business? What are the tangible gains we can realistically expect? Coding efficiency, code quality, developer productivity.
That's the core of it, isn't it? First, dramatically improved coding efficiency. GPT-5 uses 22% fewer tokens and 45% fewer external tool calls than its predecessors to get the same or even better results. That translates directly to lower API costs for you and faster responses. We already knew AI-assisted programmers were maybe 55% faster. GPT-5 seems to push this even further. Think about the impact on your project timelines.
So it's not just a marginal gain, it's a real acceleration that could directly affect the bottom line.
Absolutely. And this leads straight to higher code quality and fewer bugs. With that 75% success rate on SW Bench for fixing real bugs way up from GPT-4's 52%, GPT-5 produces precise, concise patches with strong adherence to review constraints. That's what the reports say. And crucially, it uniquely catches critical issues like security flaws or compile breakers that other models often miss.
Okay, that's important.
And its factual error rate is reduced by up to 80% compared to GPT-4. That means far fewer hallucinations, significantly more reliable code.
So we're talking about a significant reduction in downstream costs, technical debt. What's the biggest headache GPT-5 is maybe uniquely positioned to solve for an executive that other models struggled with?
I'd say its enhanced precision, the lower hallucination rate, and its ability to grasp complex context. It means it can tackle those really nuanced bug fixes and code generation tasks that before needed a lot of human oversight or just endless refinement. It delivers cleaner code from the start, mitigating those headaches like subtle security holes or weird integration bugs that used to just eat up engineering time.
Right.
And this, of course, ties directly into enhanced developer productivity and experience. GPT-5 reduces cognitive load. It handles the boilerplate code, freeing up your developers to focus on the creative, high-value tasks. GitHub reported 88% of developers felt more productive with Copilot, and job satisfaction actually went up. GPT-5 is also easier to steer, a more dependable collaborator, with dramatically lower error rates and tool usage.
For me, this sounds like moving from traditional hand tools to precision power tools in, say, manufacturing. GPT-5 augments human developers, creating a kind of force multiplier effect. Does that sound right? Like smaller, agile teams delivering like much larger ones.
That's an excellent analogy.
Yeah.
And from your executive lens, the quantifiable benefits are pretty clear. Faster development cycles, potentially 55% or more reduction in time for routine tasks. Higher throughput, catching maybe 30% more bugs, solving around 75% of issues automatically. And significant cost savings. Remember that 10x cost effectiveness per token. Amgen, for example, reported increased accuracy and reliability, higher quality outputs, and faster speeds with GPT-5 compared to older models in their internal tests.
Okay, so it's delivering results. Where does GPT-5 truly shine out there in the wild? Can you walk us through some practical applications making a real impact across industries right now?
Absolutely. Let's start with AI-assisted code development. Developers use GPT-5 like an on-demand assistant, generating boilerplate, implementing algorithms, even creating prototypes directly from PRDs, product requirement documents. It's moving us towards this software on-demand idea.
Okay.
Then, for quality assurance, automated code reviews and QA. GPT-5 is proving very strong here. Tools like Quoto Merge use it to automatically review pull requests for security vulnerabilities or style issues. And you can integrate it into your CI/CD pipelines, your continuous integration and delivery pipelines, to analyze test failures and even suggest fixes. It's like having an incredibly vigilant, tireless peer reviewer on call 24/7.
That's a huge win for maintaining code quality, especially at scale.
It really is. Now, for organizations dealing with existing systems, there's legacy code maintenance and refactoring. That huge context window means GPT-5 can ingest massive code bases. Think about a 50,000-line module refactor, for instance, without losing context. It can even translate code from older languages, like COBOL, to modern ones like Python, modernizing those monolithic code bases.
That alone could be worth a lot to some companies.
Definitely. And for IT operations, DevOps and scripting automation is a game changer. GPT-5 can generate infrastructure as code, things like Docker files, Kubernetes configs, or automation scripts in Bash, PowerShell, Terraform, just from plain English descriptions. Tools like Codex CLI even let you use natural language commands to modify code directly. We're also seeing powerful applications in domain-specific code generation. In finance, quants can use it to write algorithmic trading code. In healthcare, it helps write data processing pipelines compliant with standards like HL7 FHIR. It can generate SQL queries for retail analysts or even PLC code for manufacturing automation.
It truly sounds like it adapts to almost any technical niche you throw at it.
It seems to. And it's making a big difference in testing and QA automation, too. GPT-5 is pretty adept at generating comprehensive unit tests for functions or creating automated test scripts with frameworks like Selenium, again, just from natural language descriptions. And finally, chat-ups and developer support is another powerful area. GPT-5 can act as a 247 expert mentor right within chat tools like Slack or Teams, answering complex API questions, or even performing actions like rolling back deployments if you integrate it carefully with the right privileges.
So just to give you a clearer picture, imagine a global bank using GPT-5 to write compliance automation code, or an e-commerce team using it to build microservices faster, generate end-to-end tests, a health tech company using it to ensure medical data processing code follows strict privacy rules, ed tech platforms personalizing coding exercises, even game developers scripting game logic from descriptions.
Yeah.
It's a remarkable breadth of application.
Yeah, in essence, any scenario where code is written, read, or maintained can probably be significantly enhanced by GPT-5. It's proving useful for professional software engineers, data scientists, analysts, really anyone who needs to script or program complex systems.
Okay, so we've covered its immense power, the benefits, where it's already making an impact. It almost sounds too good to be true, doesn't it?
And that's precisely why we need to shift gears now. Because despite all that promise, GPT-5 is absolutely not a magic bullet.
Right.
There are crucial challenges and limitations that you, as executives, need to be fully aware of before just diving in head first. First, the technical limitations. While its context window is massive, GPT-5 can still struggle with extremely complex stateful systems. It might experience something called context rot over really long interactions, or maybe miss subtle edge cases in enterprise code bases, especially those with highly proprietary frameworks or deep technical debt.
Right, the real world is messy. And even with all its precision, are there still errors? Things that absolutely demand human oversight.
Oh, absolutely, there are residual errors. While they're greatly reduced, remember, up to 80% fewer factual errors than GPT-4 hallucinations or false positives aren't completely eliminated. A single subtle error, especially in critical code, can still cause hours of painful debugging. So, human verification, thorough testing, they remain absolutely necessary. This isn't replacing your engineers, it's augmenting them.
Okay, that's a critical point. And what about the practicalities, just bringing this kind of tech into an established organization?
Those are the implementation and operational challenges. Data privacy and security are huge concerns, right? Sending proprietary code to cloud APIs raises questions about IP protection. You need solid answers there. There's also the operational overhead integrating AI into existing workflows, managing API rate limits, understanding the variable costs involved, and critically, user training and trust. Your developers need to learn effective prompt engineering. There can be initial resistance, maybe a lack of full trust initially, meaning they might double-check everything, which could potentially eat into those early productivity gains. You have to actively build that confidence.
So this isn't just a technical rollout, it's really a culture shift within your engineering teams.
Exactly. Then you have potential performance edge cases. GPT-5 might occasionally lack knowledge of the absolute latest framework or some highly niche programming language simply because of its training data cutoff. And while the full GPT-5 model is incredibly powerful, some early users have noted potential latency issues. Although newer, smaller, mini or nano models are being developed to offer faster responses, likely with some quality trade-offs.
And the broader implications for your workforce. This technology will undoubtedly reshape some job roles.
It will. And this raises significant workforce implications. Businesses need to think proactively about how job roles might evolve, especially for junior developers. You need to invest in reskilling programs to empower your teams to work with AI, not feel like they're being replaced by it. So just to reiterate, GPT-5 is extremely powerful, but it's not infallible. Businesses must approach it as a tool that augments but absolutely does not replace human judgment. Safeguards, like human sign-off on AI-suggested code, are still vital.
Okay, so for you, the CTO listening, the CIO, the CEO walk, what are the strategic implications and, maybe more importantly, the concrete next steps for your business? How do you capitalize on this without getting tripped up by those challenges?
Right. From an executive perspective, GPT-5 enables that profound acceleration of development cycles. That means faster time to market, a real competitive edge. It leads to improved quality and reliability, fewer defects, better QA, which is critical, especially in regulated industries. It offers substantial cost efficiency and developer productivity. You can do more with the same, maybe even fewer resources. It influences your hiring focus towards AI-adept talent. And ultimately, it fuels innovation and new capabilities. It lowers the barrier to entry for prototyping new ideas, maybe even democratizing coding ability across more parts of your organization.
So if I'm convinced, how do we actually start adopting this effectively? What are the first steps?
Okay, your next steps should be concrete and measured. Pilot projects. Start small, maybe with non-critical but meaningful projects. Measure the outcomes rigorously. Learn what works specifically for your context. Vendor engagement. Really dig into the enterprise offerings. Understand data isolation policies, service-level agreements, the SLAs. Get the guarantees you need. Infrastructure preparation. Make sure you have robust, secure API access. Think about how to integrate these AI capabilities seamlessly into your existing IDEs and workflows. Policy drafting, this is crucial. Create clear guidelines for AI usage, coding standards, data handling protocols, ethical considerations, get it written down.
Training too, right? You mentioned the culture shift.
Absolutely. Training and culture. Run workshops, maybe internal hackathons. Address developer apprehensions head-on. Frame AI as an empowerment tool, not a threat. And importantly, monitor and iterate. Establish metrics. Track AI-assisted code lines versus introduced bugs. Collect feedback from your teams. Continuously refine your usage strategy. This applies across roles, from CTO shaping tech strategy and budgets, to product managers needing shorter development estimates, and HR focusing on upskilling and morale.
It really does sound like Software 2.0 is in the making. And GPT-5, powerful as it is, feels like just the beginning. Looking ahead, say 3 to 5 years, what does the future of software development look like with AI woven even deeper?
Yeah, we anticipate an evolution from just AI assistance towards full autonomy with AI agents for coding. AI will likely take on more autonomous roles, potentially completing entire user stories with minimal human intervention. Moving towards that software on-demand paradigm, where humans primarily oversee AI agents.
So humans become more like AI orchestra conductors, directing the whole process.
That's a great analogy, yeah. We'll also see deeper integration of multimodal capabilities. Imagine AI generating user interfaces just from sketches, or interpreting complex diagrams to implement code, maybe even debugging from screenshots. Really bridging that gap between design and implementation. Expect significant specialization in custom AI models. We'll likely see fine-tuned variants for specific tech stacks or industries, maybe even a dynamic marketplace of specialized AI coding models.
And that context window, will it ever truly be unlimited, offering complete awareness of an entire enterprise code base?
What we anticipate further increases in context and memory, where AI could essentially have near unlimited awareness of an entire enterprise code base, acting almost like the company's institutional memory for code. This leads to a fundamental human-AI collaboration paradigm shift. AI-first coding could become standard AI drafts, humans review, verify, architect. New developer skills like prompt engineering and AI verification will become absolutely critical.
Which naturally implies changes in the job market.
It does. It points towards disruptions in the software job market, with a definite shift towards roles like system designers, architects, AI tooling specialists. Quality assurance and regulation will also become much more central. Expect AI audit tools, regulatory guidelines specifically for AI-developed software, maybe even certifications. The future really points to AI being so deeply woven into software development that, well, manual coding for routine problems might become pretty unusual.
So to wrap up our deep dive then, GPT-5 marks a truly significant milestone in AI-assisted development. It offers concrete, quantifiable improvements in efficiency, quality, and productivity for businesses that are, ready to embrace it thoughtfully.
That's right. The call to action for you, the executive, is really to embrace GPT-5 with optimism for the possibilities, but also with pragmatism. Address its limitations, integrate it responsibly. Proactive integration done right is key to competitive advantage and leadership in this emerging AI-accelerated development world. It isn't just a new tool. It really does feel like Software 2.0.
So the final thought to leave you with. Imagine what your IT and R&D departments look like when AI-enabled development truly becomes the industry standard. Are you ready to lead the way? Thank you for joining the podcast and see you soon.